Heavenly Father has a chosen nation down here upon the earth. And that ain't never going to change. Regardless of what the nation of Israel does, or, what form of punishment the Most High brings upon the nation of Israel, that's not going to change the fact that we're the chosen nation. We're the only nation that the Heavenly Father is dealing with. But see, we've been through so much hell, that you other nations out there, you'll think that we've been forsaken by the Heavenly Father. But we just read that the Most High will never forsake his people. You just don't understand how the Heavenly Father gets down. Verse 55, it says, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because thou madest the world for our sakes. So the world was made for the nation of Israel's sake. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, the other nations, thou hast said that they are nothing. Going back to Isaiah that we just read, man. But be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them. So all the multitude of nations, all the people, has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. You a drop of water, man. All the nations, they're a drop of water in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. The nation of Israel is that full bucket, man. Verse 57, it says, and now, O Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. And that's why these other nations are on their high horse, man. That's why they think, okay, now they can get up in the covenant that the Most High made with the nation of Israel, because they believe the nation of Israel is done away with. Verse 58 says, but we thy people whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover are given unto their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? And the reason why we don't possess an inheritance is because the Most High is punishing us for the wickedness that we committed. But the Most High is going to choose us again as he did when we came out of Egypt, man. The Most High is going to have mercy upon us and set us back in that, our original state. This is Sirach 33 and 10. It says, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of the earth. In much knowledge the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai hath divided them, which proves that the Most High is not dealing with all these nations, man. In much knowledge the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai hath divided them, and made their ways diverse. If the Most High wanted all these nations to be together, why they got different customs? Why do, so-called Chinese people eat with chopsticks, and then when you go to different parts of the world, they'll use other utensils, man? Why do people dress different down here upon the earth? Why everybody don't got the same garb, man? Why doesn't everybody have the same language? Because the Most High never wanted all nations to come together. He always was dealing with one particular group of people, man. Verse 12, it says, some of them hath he blessed and exalted, and some of them he sanctified and set near himself. And who are the only people that have been sanctified down here upon the earth? Who are the saints? The nation of Israel. The holy people of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, the ones that have customs that's completely different from all people down here upon the earth. It says, but some of them hath he cursed and brought low, and turned out of their places. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him, to render to them as liketh him best. All right? And the Most High does whatever he wants to down here upon the earth, because he is the creator. Nobody can tell him that what he's doing is right or wrong, man. When you create something, nobody can tell you what to do with that thing. Oh, you can't do that. That's wrong. That's wicked. I create. I can do whatever I want to it, man. You could build two cars. You could use one car for a demolition derby, and you can use one car to drive around, and you want to look nice in, man. Now, nobody can come and tell you, oh, nah, man, you ain't supposed to use that car for no demolition derby. You're supposed to treat it like the other one. Like, hey, this is my car, man. I made this car. I can do whatever I want to it, man. And the Most High has the same authority over his creation. All right? This will be the last one. We'll close out on this. And nowhere in the scriptures can you find that the Most High is dealing with any other nation like he's dealing with the nation of Israel, man. This is 2 Samuel 7 and 5. It says, and go and tell my servant David, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, shalt thou build me an house for me to dwell in? Whereas I have not dwelt in any house since the time that I brought up the children of children of Israel out of Egypt, even to this day, but have walked in a tent and in a tabernacle, and in all the places wherein I have walked with all the children of Israel, spake I a word with any of the tribes of Israel, whom I commanded to feed my people Israel, saying, why build ye not me an house of cedar? Now therefore, so shalt thou say unto my servant David, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts, I took thee from the sheepcote, from following the sheep, to be ruler over my people, over Israel. And that's the people of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the nation of Israel. And I was with thee whithersoever thou wentest, and have cut off all thine enemies out of thy sight. And who were the enemies of David? The other nations, man. This is the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that the nation of Israel is exalted and put at the top of all nations down here upon the earth. And that has not changed. It says, and have cut off all thine enemies out of thy sight, and have made thee a great name, like unto the name of the great men that are in the earth. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own. And the nation of Israel does not have a place of their own at the moment, man. Wherever we are, heathen are there, man, ruling over us. Okay? We don't have our own land. We don't have autonomy. You other nations have autonomy. You have sovereignty. It says in the place of their own, and move no more, which the Most High has not fulfilled this promise. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them anymore as before time. Who are the children of wickedness? These other nations. These ones that have not been given the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says, as since the time I commanded judges to be over my people Israel, and have caused thee to rest from all thine enemies, also the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua telleth thee that he will make thee an house. And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. Which is talking about Solomon, which is Yahushua, if you can receive it. It says, he shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the thrones of his kingdom forever. So this promise has never been fulfilled, man. There's supposed to be a king ruling over the nation of Israel right now, and he has to be of the line of David. When you go over to that land now, there's no kings out there. You got a prime minister by the name of Benjamin Netanyahu, and he was voted in. He can't trace his lineage back to the seed of David. You know? Furthermore, there are no kings over there in the land of Israel. There's no monarchy. It says, he shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men, and with the stripes of the children of men. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee. And thy house and thy kingdom shall be established forever. So where's the kingdom of David? You know, where's David's seed sitting on the throne over there in the land of Israel? Which that further proves that those 1948ers are not the people. All right, and like we read earlier, the Most High said, though he, chasten his people, he's never gonna forsake them. So he's always going to tell them to come back to him and raise up prophets, man. That's what's going on right now. Which proves that the Most High is not dealing with you other nations on any level, man. Verse 17, it says, according to all these words, and according to all this vision, so did Nathan speak unto David. Then went David in and sat before the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and he said, who am I, O Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua power, and what is my house that thou hast bought me hitherto? And this was yet a small thing in the sight of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua power, but thou hast spoken also of thy servant's house for a great while to come. And this is the manner of man, O Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua power. And what can David say more unto thee? For thou, Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua power, knowest thy servant. For thy word's sake, and according to thine own heart hast thou done all these great things to make thy servant know them. Wherefore thou art great, O Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua power, for there is none like thee. Neither is there any God beside thee, according to all that we have heard with our ears. Verse 23, and what nation in the earth is like thy people, even like Israel? So there's no other nation that you can compare the nation of Israel to, man. earth is like thy people, even like Israel, whom the Most High went to redeem for a people to himself. And that only happened to the nation of Israel, man. Now, the question is, if the Most High is dealing with all these other nations, if he wants everybody to come under him, you know, and be a part of his covenant, why isn't he doing the same thing he did for the Israelites to these other nations, man? These nations be getting jacked up. When war breaks out, the Most High don't go and intervene and save these people and say, no, I want you to be joined unto me. He don't do that. But you're going to see the Most High do that again to his people, the nation of Israel, man. It says, when the Most High went to redeem for a people to himself and to make him a name and to do for you great things and terrible for thy land before thy people, which thou redeemest to thee from Egypt and from the nations and their gods. For thou hast confirmed to thyself thy people Israel to be a people unto thee forever. So it's never going to change, man. The Israelites are always going to be the nation that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is looking at and acknowledging. And just as we read in previous verses, the Most High looks at you other nations like you're nothing. You're worthless. What is the Most High going to do with you? You know, he ain't going to raise you up to worship him. You other nations are for the benefit of his people. You're servants to the nation of Israel. So Most High ain't gonna set you up as priest, you know, for you to do the service of the Heavenly Father. That's the job of his people, man. It says, for thou hast confirmed to thyself thy people Israel to be a people unto thee forever, and thou, Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, art become their power. And now, O Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, power, the word that thou hast spoken concerning thy servant and concerning his house, establish it forever. So this has to, you know, take place, man. It has to be someone of the line of David sitting on the throne in the nation of Israel, man. And that's not going on right now because, number one, those people out there in the land of Israel currently, those 1948ers, they're not the Israelites. The Israelites are currently in captivity. All right? And when David was sitting on the throne, what was going on with the other nations, man? The Heavenly Father put all nations under his authority. David went throughout, you know, the surrounding areas. He put all the nations down, man. Made them pay tribute. So that's the kingdom that the Heavenly Father wants to be established down here upon the earth. It says, and now, O Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, power, the word that thou hast spoken concerning thy servant and concerning his house, establish it forever, and do as thou hast said. And let thy name be magnified forever, saying the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai of hosts is the power over Israel, not you other nations, man. Your God is the Israelites, the Israelite man, all right? That's who you other nations gonna bow down to, man. You ain't worshiping Yahweh Shem Yahushai directly. It says the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai of hosts is the power over Israel, and let the house of thy servant David be established before thee. For thou, O Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai of hosts, power of Israel, hast revealed to thy servant, saying, I will build thee an house. Therefore thy servant found in his heart to pray this prayer unto thee. And now, O Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, power, thou art power, and thy words be true, and thou hast promised this goodness unto thy servant. Therefore now let it please thee to bless the house of thy servant, that it may continue forever before thee. And you currently do not have the house of David set up ruling over the earth, man. All right. It says that it may continue forever before thee, for thou, O Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, hast spoken it, and with thy blessing let the house of thy servant be blessed forever. You know, so with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Arahakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles, a great millstone. Shalom.